Hello everyone, Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. And today what I'm going to be talking about is one of my favorite artists, Johnny Cash. And I'm going to do a top 10 of his all-time songs in my opinion. Now this, if I thought the Judas Priest top 10 was difficult, this was even more difficult than that. Johnny Cash has so many albums and so many songs, and it was very difficult to whittle it down to just 10. I probably could have done a top 50, but I really wanted to try to get it down to the essence of Johnny Cash. So there will be a couple surprises on this list, but I also had to put a couple of the old standbys in here as well, because there's just certain songs that have to be in a Johnny Cash top 10. So let's go into it now. All right, coming in at number 10 is a song called Strawberry Cake. And if you are not familiar with the song, it's off of the live album called Strawberry Cake. I didn't know this song until I actually got the Columbia box set, and I happened to pop this CD in, and it's just a great song. It's really grown on me, and definitely it's become a top 10 song for me. It's a song with a great story about a guy who's down on his luck. It's a comedy song about how he goes and he literally steals a strawberry cake from a restaurant, and it's about the events that ensue from there. So it's a funny story. Johnny Cash is a great storyteller. So you combine the storytelling with just the melody of the song in the live setting, and it's just a great song. Number 9. We talked about old standbys. Well, number 9 it's the song Hey Porter. And I actually prefer the new recording off the 1964 album I Walk the Line, but it's just classic Johnny Cash. The arrangement, his vocal approach, everything about it, the subject matter, it's just classic Johnny Cash, coming in at number 9. Now number 8 is another old standby, a song called I Still Miss Someone. This came off the album The Fabulous Johnny Cash, and it was co-written with his nephew, Roy Cash Jr. It's just a beautiful, beautiful song, and he sings it so well. And again, it's just one of those songs that Johnny Cash, you believe him when he's singing. And again, if you've ever missed somebody, and we all have, or if you are just thinking about somebody from the past, a past relationship, whatever that may be, this song definitely will speak to you like it speaks to me. Number 7, from 1970, a song called Flesh and Blood. This is a rearrangement, because I like the version on the I Walk the Line soundtrack. It's from the film starring Gregory Peck. And I prefer this version. It's just, it's a great song, and he just, again, is a great storyteller, and flesh and blood needs flesh and blood. It's just, you can't get much more descriptive than that, and it's just a wonderful song. I love it. Now, number 6. This is a song that you might not be familiar with. This is actually off of my favorite Johnny Cash album. It's an album called Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, and it's a song called Wrinkled, Crinkled, Wadded Dollar Bill. And again, another story song. What I was looking back at the lyrics about the song, and or the lyrics in the song, and one thing I really admire about the song is Johnny Cash's songwriting. And anybody can rhyme a word with the word bill, but looking back, here are some of the phrases that he rhymes with bill, and these are just to continue the story song as it goes. You've got Pauper's Hill, Cotton Twill, Eat My Fill, and Into the Chill. So just hearing those phrases, I mean, it just shows you how great of a songwriter, and he could just paint a picture for you. And he's one of those singers you just believe, because really he lived a lot of his songs. And it comes through in his lyrics. Number 5. Now, This is one of the newer songs. This is off of the American 2 album, Unchained, and it's actually the title track, Unchained. That song, talk about believing somebody. I've said in past videos, I'm not a very religious person. I used to go to church a lot. I do not go to church anymore. But this song, Unchained, is about somebody turning to God in the toughest times. And it's also about forgiving yourself. And I know for myself, I need to remember that at times. And I think we all do. But Johnny Cash is one of those artists that I can listen to sing spiritual songs. He's just, because I believe him, he's lived it. He's told stories of the dark sides of life, and he's told stories of the good light side of life. Excuse me. And he's definitely walked the walk. He's lived those songs. And so when he sings a spiritual song for me, I believe him. And it actually touches me because it's not fake. He's definitely coming from a deep place within himself and a deep faith that he has. And I love that he can sing a song and say, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. But then he can sing a song like Unchained. It's just, it just shows the power of Johnny Cash. Now, number 4, this is also a newer song. It's off the first American Recordings album. Now, this was the album that kind of was a rebirth for Johnny Cash. It came out in 1994. It was actually, I looked it up, it was his 81st album. Produced by Rick Rubin. Suddenly, Johnny Cash was cool again. It was cool to be a Johnny Cash fan. And the song is Let the Train Blow the Whistle. He has so many songs about trains. This happens to be one of my favorite songs. It's a fun song for me to play on the guitar as well and sing. It's just a great train song, and it's a highlight of that album. Now, number 3. This is an old standby that has to be in there. It's the song called Man in Black, off of the album Man in Black. It's about Johnny Cash. It's about why he wears the color black. And he's explaining the reason behind it. It's just about him. It has to be in the top 10. But on top of that, it's just a great song. All right, coming in at number 2. This is also off of the American Recordings album that came out in 1994. This is a song called The Beast in Me. And this is definitely a top song for me. That's why I had to put it at number 2. I identify with the song, but the other thing too is it just shows you again how Johnny Cash kind of straddles the good and the bad. And I respect that about him. I feel like we all have a dark side, and we all try to forget about that dark side every once in a while. Sometimes we tap into it. It's just a part of all of us. And Johnny Cash is acknowledging that. He's saying, yeah, you know what? I've got a beast inside. It comes out every once in a while. I do things that I'm not proud of. I say things that I'm not proud of. But that's okay. That's me. That's part of me. I think the important part of this is acknowledging that you have these thoughts and you have this dark side and you have these things that maybe negative thoughts that come up every once in a while, but you acknowledge them and then you try to remedy them and try to fix them and try to turn them into the positive. And that's what Johnny Cash was about. He was about acknowledging those behaviors and those negative thoughts, but then also figuring out a way to change that and to live your life in a positive way. So I think that song is definitely about that. And my number 1 Johnny Cash song, it has to be Folsom Prison Blues. It's my favorite song to sing of his. I feel like it just speaks Johnny Cash. And in the live version on the Folsom Prison album, he basically just says, hello, I'm Johnny Cash. Like, he is just announcing to the world that this is him. Like him or not, this is who he's going to be. I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. You know, those prisoners in Folsom Prison and even in San Quentin, they believed Johnny Cash, even though Johnny Cash never really served time in a prison. The convicts identified with him. Again, he was one of those people that you believe, like you believe Johnny Cash. When Johnny Cash speaks, you listen, you believe him. He's just got a presence about him. And that song is just, for me, number one, Johnny Cash. So let me go through the list again. Number 10, Strawberry Cake. Number 9, Hey Porter. Number 8, I Still Miss Someone. Number 7, Flesh and Blood. Number 6, Wrinkled, Crinkled, Wadded Dollar Bill. Number 5, Unchained. Number 4, Let the Train Blow the Whistle. Number 3, Man in Black. Number 2, The Beast in Me. And number 1, Folsom Prison Blues. So, as I always say, I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your top 10 of Johnny Cash. What are some of your favorite albums by Johnny Cash? And hopefully you like this video, and share the video, subscribe. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.